Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Rogula. I'm so glad you're back with me again today for another Circle Time video. Today is Monday, May 4th, 2020. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and enjoyed some of the nice spring, almost summer-like weather that we had, and got to go outside and play and spend time with your families. Let's see who's here today. Will you sing the song with me? I hope you do. Let's see, and see if you recognize your name. I'm so glad that Theo's here today. Hey, I'm so glad that Madeline came to play. Hey, I'm so glad that Sandy's here today. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! I'm so glad Savannah's here today. Hey, I'm so glad Annabelle came to play. Hey, I'm so glad Sam Murphy came to play. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! I'm so glad the bear is here today. Hey, I'm so glad that Petey came to play. Hey, I'm so glad that Isabel's here today. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! I'm so glad that Braxton's here today. Hey, I'm so glad that Kellen came to play. Hey, I'm so glad that NJ's here today. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! I'm so glad that Johnny's here today. Hey, I'm so glad that Henry came to play. Hey, I'm so glad that Ella's here today. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! I'm so glad that Kieran's here today. Hey, I'm so glad that Mrs. Rogula's here to play. Hey, I'm so glad that we're all here today. So hip, hip, and hip, hip, hooray! Thanks for singing with me, boys and girls. I hope you find your names when I'm showing you your name cards, and I hope that you're recognizing some of your friends' names as well. We're starting a whole new topic this week, and I want to surprise you with what we're studying. So, if you close your eyes and count to 3 and open them when I say to open them. Ready? Eyes closed. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Do you know where I am? Look around. I am at Wagner Farm in Glenview, and this week we're going to be talking all about the farm. We wish we could have brought you here, but it's closed right now, but I could take a little walk on the sidewalk and show you some of the farm. What do you think of when you hear about a farm? Do you think of a big red barn? I think of that too. What are some animals that you think of when you think of the farm? I bet I hear someone saying cows. I bet I hear someone saying horses. Did someone say pigs? Did someone say sheep? How about the chickens? The farm is closed right now, so I can't take you through it, but I'm gonna walk around and we'll see what we can see just from the sidewalk. And maybe one day, you and your family could get in the car and just drive past it, or you could take a walk on the sidewalk yourselves, or maybe a bike ride, and hopefully the farm's gonna open really soon so you can come visit the farm yourself. Let's see what we can see. So here's the barn and a tractor. A tractor is useful on the farm to go in the fields. And the barn is where they keep some of the animals and also some of the animals' food. Let's see what else we can see. Who lives behind the barn? Who do I see in the field there? I think those are the cows. Let's walk around. They're a little far away today, but sometimes when you walk over here, the cows are really close. What do we get from our cows? If you had milk in your cereal this morning or a glass of milk with your breakfast, that came from a cow. The cows like to eat all the grass in the pasture, and that helps their milk be really sweet. Our butter comes from cows. It comes from the milk in the cows, and then we have to shake it and churn it into butter. And who knows what sound the cow makes? Can I hear you all say it? They're not talking right now, but if we heard them talking, they'd be saying, moo. Let's see what else we can see on the farm. Okay, boys and girls, I'm back home now. That was a fun trip to the farm. I wish I could have shown you more, gotten closer to some of the animals, but that's the best we can do right now since Wagner Farm is closed. But you can take a drive-by with your family or a bike ride or a walk and see. Sometimes the cows are closer to the fence, and see what you can see until the farm opens up. And when it does, then you can really go in, and there's also pigs and sheep that you can usually see there, and you can go in and do all sorts of activities inside the building. So it's lots of fun. So let's talk about who runs the farm. On a farm, what do we call the person who runs the farm? The farmer, right? The farmer, and he has a lot of work to do. He has to do a lot of chores. Do you have to do chores at home? What are some of the chores that you do at home? I think I'm going to ask you that at our Friday Zoom. I want to hear about what kinds of chores that you do at home. What kind of chores do you think the farmer has to do at home? He has to feed all the animals on his farm. He has to clean up after all the animals on his farm. He has to plant the crops. So farms grow crops to feed us. They can grow corn. They can grow potatoes. They can grow carrots. They can grow wheat to make our bread. There's so many things that we eat that are grown on farms all across the country. So they have to plant the seeds. Then they have to take care of the plants. They have to water them. They have to weed it, make sure there are not too many weeds. They have to make sure bugs don't get on and eat their crops. And then they have to harvest them. And then they have to get them somewhere to sell them. And then they still have to take care of all the animals. So much work running a farm. Let's sing a song that I'm sure you all probably know. Old MacDonald had a farm. Let's see what kind of animals. This is Old MacDonald. Let's see what kind of animals he has on his farm. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a, what's that? Cow. E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O. With an oink oink here and an oink oink there. Here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a, what is that? Sheep. E-I-E-I-O. With a ba-ba here and a ba-ba there. Here a ba, there a ba, everywhere a ba-ba. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. What's another animal on the farm? And on that farm he had a horse. Horse. E-I-E-I-O. With a neigh-neigh here and a neigh-neigh there. Here a neigh, there a neigh, everywhere a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a, what's that? Chicken. E-I-E-I-O. With a brock, brock here and a brock, brock there. Here a brock, there a brock, everywhere a brock, brock. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a dog. Most farms have dogs. E-I-E-I-O. With the woof woof here, and a woof, woof there. Here a wolf, there a wolf, everywhere a woof, woof. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a cat, E-I-E-I-O. With a meow, meow here and a meow, meow there. Here a meow, there a meow, everywhere a meow, meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. That's a lot of the animals on their farm. There could be more, but these are a lot of the animals that we can find at Wagner Farm especially. So all of these animals are very important to the farm life. Do you know that the cat lives in the barn usually? They call them barn cats. Do you know what those cats do in the barn? First of all, in the barn, we have some of our animals live in the barn, like the cows and the horses, and their food lives in the barn also. And do you know what likes to get into the food? Mice. So what do you think the cats do? They take care of the mice. Yes, they keep the mice away. So the cats have a very important job on the farm. And our chickens lay the eggs for the farm, and our cows give us milk, and our sheep give us wool, and our horses help do some of the work. They pull the wagons and they pull the carts, and our pigs give us food. So everything has an important job on the farm. Okay, we're going to be talking about some of the animals specifically. Okay, boys and girls, every animal and person on a farm has a job. And right now we're going to talk about the cow. What is the cow's job on the farm? Does anybody know? To make the milk, right? The cows make the milk that we drink in our houses every day. And the farmer's job, one of the farmer's jobs, is to actually milk the cow. And then we take that milk and make all sorts of other things with it that we use every day in our houses, like yogurt and butter and cheese or sour cream. And all of those things that are made from the cow's milk are called dairy. Can you think of some other things that are made from the milk that maybe might be in your refrigerator? Or maybe your freezer. There's a yummy treat that's made from the cow's milk. Did you say ice cream? Yes, ice cream is made from the cow's milk. Different kinds of cheeses, cottage cheese, cream cheese, the cream that maybe your mom or dad put in their coffee comes from the cow. So the cow has a very important job to make our milk. Okay, boys and girls, we're gonna work on a project right now, but it's a surprise for your mom. So moms, if you're in the room and you're listening to this video, cover your ears or step away for a few minutes so we can work on a special project. Okay, are you ready? All right, listen up. You are gonna work on a special Mother's Day card for your mom. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and if we were in our classroom together, we would be helping you make a card. But since we're not together, we're going to show you the basics of making a card, and maybe you can ask Dad to help you or another adult in your house to help you make the card. And if you have to ask Mom, I'm sure Mom would be happy to help you make the Mother's Day card as well. So, just a minute. Okay, you're going to take a piece of paper. If you have colored paper, great. If you have a little bit heavier paper, great. If it's just a plain piece of construction paper or computer paper, whatever you have at home works. And you are going to take that paper, you're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. And then if you want to write on the front, Happy Mother's Day, you write your H. A, P, P, Y, M, O, T, H, E-R-S-D-A-Y. This is an exclamation point. That means we're saying Happy Mother's Day! And then, I didn't draw any decorations, but you could decorate it with flowers or hearts or smiley faces, however you want to decorate it. Maybe you have stickers at home. You could use some stickers, whatever you have at home. And when you open it up, you could write something that says, I love you. That's an I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. And another exclamation point. That means we're shouting it because we really mean it. And then love, L-O-V-E, with a little comma. And then you would write your name. You would use your best handwriting for all of your words. And again, you could draw more pictures, hearts, flowers, smiley faces, stickers, however you want to decorate it for your mom. You have all week to work on this and have it ready to give to her on Sunday. Mrs. Friedman's going to remind you to work on your cards also. So let's see how creative you could get, and we can't wait to see some of your Mother's Day cards. Have fun! Boys and girls, our story today is a very silly story that takes place on a farm. It's called Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. Can cows really type? I don't think so. Might be just pretend. The author is Doreen Cronin. What did Doreen Cronin do if she's the author? Do you remember? Did you say write the words? She wrote the words, and it's illustrated by Betsy Lewin. What did Betsy do? She drew the pictures, right. All right, click, clack, moo, cows that type. Click, clack, moo, cows that type. Cows with a typewriter. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. A typed note. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. So silly. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. Oh no. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Uh-oh, now the hens are getting in on it, aren't they? The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Closed. No milk, no eggs. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Cows that type, hens on strike? Who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Oh, look, they're all toasty with their electric blankets at night. So silly. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. Oh no, now the ducks want something and they have the typewriter. Oh, looks like they got it. They're diving off the diving board. Such a silly story. I hope you liked that one. Okay, the last thing I have to talk to you about today is who's doing show and tell on Friday at our live Zoom, and the two people who are going to find one item in their house and bring it to our Zoom on Friday to tell us about why they love it so much and why it's special to them are Bear and Savannah. So both of you get an item ready to show us at Zoom and tell us all about it on Friday. Thanks for joining me today and learning about the farm and cows. Mrs. Friedman will be with you tomorrow for a video with talking about some more farm animals. I'll be back on Wednesday and Mrs. Friedman will be back on Thursday, and then we'll all be together for our Friday Zoom. Have a great day.